All right, everybody's probably thinking about cutting a little bit of firewood right now. And what I'd like to talk to you a little bit about today is if you could just have one saw, what would it be? What would you think about? Um, this was the first saw that I bought, and honestly, I think I could get by with only this saw. This is the Stihl 361. To buy a comparable saw today, it would be the 362, and you're looking at around $900. What I really like about this saw is it's extremely light, and we'll put the weight of the 362 power head here in the video. And it's also got the capability to run a wide variety of bar lengths. What I have on it right now is the 25-inch bar, which is the maximum bar that they recommend you put on it. This makes it possible to cut some larger trees. If you're cutting a bigger tree than this, chances are, this is my opinion, but chances are it's not going to be that enjoyable to split up into firewood unless you're cutting into extremely small pucks. So for me, this is a good gauge of a tree that I want to either cut for wood or let it lay. Also, having a 25-inch bar allows you to be able to limb without having to bend over, which is really nice. Because if this was a 5-inch shorter, I'd be stooped over the whole day. Balance is important. You can see that this saw is very well balanced with a 25-inch bar. With a 20-inch bar, it would be absolutely perfectly balanced. But this one's got just a little bit of tip weight. And so I've had this saw for 10 years, and I cut about 15 to 20 ricks of wood every winter, and I've not had to change any parts on this outside of what you would normally expect to change, such as the air filter. Everything else has remained completely the same, and it's ran completely trouble-free. I've never had to clean the carburetor. I've never had to do anything with this saw. And I think that's probably one of the big benefits of buying a professional grade chainsaw is everything is just better. It's made for somebody who's a true professional that would actually need to use this day in and day out all day long. This is made to do that. And so if you bring that to a homeowner status like myself, then you've got a saw that's going to be extremely reliable, and you don't have to fight those issues like you do on other small engines where every spring or every fall when you pull it out of the garage and you try to run it, it's all gummed up and it doesn't want to run, and you got to run it through its paces and clean that carburetor out. This thing, I don't know how Stihl's done it. I wish everybody would have a carburetor like Stihl. This thing never needs to be cleaned, never needs to be tuned up. The other thing to keep in mind is one of these features that I like on a professional level saw is the decamp valve or decompression valve. You can actually push this in, and that basically makes it a whole lot easier to pull the chain. You can see with that in, that goes down really fast. Let's see if we can pop it out. So now with it popped out, you can see that it doesn't come off at all. That's because there's a lot of compression that's built up. You see the difference? So if you can imagine the benefits of that when you're trying to start this, especially in cold weather, not having to fight against the engine the whole time is really helpful. The other thing that's really great about a saw this size is it does not take very much fuel, and the less fuel you have, obviously the cheaper it is to run on a day-to-day basis. Also, you don't have to carry all that fuel around with you, which every little ounce matters from a chainsaw weight perspective. I would say under vigorous cutting, you could run this saw for about 30 minutes of cutting firewood without having to fuel up, which is a pretty good length of time. This has got a winter and summer option, which helps direct air in the right places, so that this saw will run more optimally in the cold weather or in the hot weather. How you doing? I've ran a dozen other models of chainsaws, from a lot smaller than this to a lot larger than this, and this one is like the oatmeal that's the perfect temperature for the 3 Bears. It's it's got plenty of power. It's light enough. You can really use this all around, and you could do that by just simply changing out the bar. If you wanted something that's a whole lot lighter and a lot better well balanced, or a lot better balanced, then you put the 20-inch bar on, you run your firewood links with that. If you are doing some bigger work on a trunk of a tree, put the 25-inch bar on until you're done with that. It's truly a versatile saw.